Hello, everyone. How are y'all today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? What's new?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Hannah fam. Hello. Hello, Dean Melendez. How are you?
I'm
Uh,
good. I'm representing Dr. Hart today. He had something added to his calendar, so he can't be here.
the mental health event?
I'm not sure. I don't
Oh,
think so. That's happening later, I believe.
JK.
Yes.
Don't forget if you're representing a student organization to add the acronym of the student organization next to your name, so that way we can take attendance like Alina has just mentioned in the chat. The time is 11:33, and I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Abram, could you please pull up the PowerPoint?
It's disabled for me.
You need to make him co-host.
Yeah, you make me co-host.
Got you. Move Texas and ODK. Nice. Also, we're back in the SGA office today, so we're working on getting things a little bit back to normal. Come stop by and say hi if y'all want.
Are you able to see it?
Yes, could you put it on the screen, please?
Say it again.
Could you make it full screen, or if
I
that's
think that's all it is.
okay?
I mean,
That looks
sure.
okay.
One second.
So first up, we have Mr. Denny, actually. Mr. Denny. Is he on the call?
I don't think he's on the call.
Yes, I don't think so as well. Okay, well, we will move forward then. Okay, the eco committee. Hold up, I'm really excited to talk about this. So, as y'all know, I've been talking about the Green Committee for a while, which is a committee that the SGA is kind of sponsoring, or SGA has been working to get instilled here on campus with the support of Student Government Association, as well as Mark Denny, and we also have an administrative sponsor, Miss Evelyn Morales. And so the goal of our committee is to increase sustainability initiatives on campus. And I thought it would be really cute if we had an acronym. So our acronym is ECO, which stands for Environmentally Conscious Organization. I think it could be better, but maybe we will make it better. We'll see. But that's where we're at for now. So we had our first meeting. We had quite a few people there. I think in total there was almost like 12 people. And it was a great meeting. Our co-chairs, we have a faculty co-chair, Dr. Angela Kelling, and we have a student co-chair, committee co-chair, Miss Crystal Woodcock. And so we're working to have our next meeting on April 12th, Monday at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in joining, or you know anybody that's interested, we're just getting started. We're working on drafting committee bylaws and kind of getting this committee to just exist, and hopefully in a way that it can continue doing work even long after I'm gone or many of the students here are gone. So yeah, if you're interested, drop your email in the chat or send us an email at sga@uhcl.edu and say, I want to be at the next meeting, and I'll send you the meeting info, add you to the teams, and we can go. Yes, Jay. Are you raising your hand?
No.
Okay, my bad. All right, next slide. Quorum. So quorum. You can go to the next slide as well, because the next slide helps me explain. Thank you. Did you skip a slide?
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, there we go.
There you go. All right. So for a quorum, for those of y'all who were not present last week, we discussed an idea that might help us reach quorum. So quick recap, we have been struggling to reach quorum for the entire year, essentially, and we need to reach quorum in order to conduct official business. So in order to vote on fund requests, in order to adjust constitution or make constitutional amendments, to adjust the constitution, to do many things, we need to reach quorum. And since we're unable to do that, we decided that we would try a different method now. So one thing we did last time was we had the voting online, but one of the problems that we faced was that a lot of students, a lot of the presidents of the organization, because only one person is allowed to vote per organization. So we pick the president for each organization, or the primary contact officer, which is generally the president. Unfortunately, though, when we did that, a lot of the presidents were like indisposed of or unavailable during that 11:30 to 12:30 time period where voting was open. So we had a few organizations that were just not able to vote at all. And so the goal is now to have organizations submit a name of a student that will be available during this time, that we can give access to vote on the constitutional amendment or the fund request or whatever is being presented, right? Again, if y'all have any questions, please ask in the chat or just raise your hand and I'll click on you, because I know it's a lot of information. So that was part one to the idea. And the part two to the idea is we would reduce the number of organizations that are required to be present in the SGA meeting. So you can go to the next slide, Abram. Abram, yeah, thanks. So this slide right here talks about where in the Constitution it mentions 50% plus one. So this first part here is in Article 2, and it says a simple majority of recognized organization representatives who choose to participate in SGA shall constitute a quorum for conducting official business. So quorum is defined as representatives of registered student organizations who choose to participate. So we're focusing on that key piece, choose to participate. And then we're looking at another section of the Constitution that discusses funding criteria. And so in order to be eligible to receive funding from the Student Government Association, you would need to be in attendance for at least 51% of the SGA meetings for the academic year, up to and including the meeting at which the fund request or amendment or whatever is presented. So what we did is define choosing to participate as organizations that attend at least half of our SGA meetings. If you have attended at least half, or if your organization has attended at least 50% of our SGA meetings, then you will be part of quorum. But if you have not, if you've attended less than 50%, then you will not be part of quorum. So this will lower our quorum to hopefully 50% of the people that attend half of our SGA meetings. I hope that makes sense. I know that's a lot of word and it's a lot of saying half. Yes, Feroz.
Sorry, when you say half of the SGA meetings for the academic year, how are you going to determine if somebody is going to ask for funding in the beginning of the academic year?
Well, like if somebody wanted to present at the first SGA meeting.
Yeah, so are you calculating, so let's say, for example, for the whole academic year, you have 100 SGA meetings, right? So for example, according to this statement, would it be people would have to attend 51 meetings to be eligible for funding criteria, correct? No?
Yeah, essentially, but that would be at the 100th meeting. You know what I mean? So let's say we have only had 4 SGA meetings.
All right, somebody said rolling average. So if you have 2 SGA meetings, so somebody had to attend at least
one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
No problem. And so this is actually like a COVID and virtual solution for now. When SGA returns to in-person meetings in the fall, then we can go back to the standard quorum. But if people are interested in changing quorum, or, you know, making some cool decisions that affect quorum and student government, please consider applying. For those of y'all who don't know, quick plug, applications are available right now on Get Involved to apply for the Executive Council for the 2021 and 22 academic school year. So please consider applying. We'd love to have you on our team. We're recruiting right now for Executive Council and Senate and shared governance position. And if you think you represent the university's values, then yes, let's do it. Will you be communicating this with student organizations presidents? Last week, I recapped the SGA meeting via email, however, was unsure what the follow-up would be. So, I mean, the purpose of these SGA meetings is to provide this information to the student org reps that would then go on and hopefully tell the organization president, but also these videos are in their entirety available on YouTube. If you just search up UHCL SGA, this video will be there probably by the end of today as well. So you can just share a clip and be like, watch these 10 seconds. She explains it, right? But let's see. So yeah, this helps us define organizations that choose to participate as organizations who attend 50% or more SGA meetings. This means we can go through our attendance logs and count the number of organizations that have attended at least half of our SGA meetings so far. That will be the number of organizations choosing to participate. So a simple majority of that number would be our new quorum. Here's the bad part, I guess. We do not have attendance logs for fall 2020. It's very frustrating, but COVID has really, I guess, affected our operations as an executive council. And for those of you guys who remember, it was essentially just me last semester, and I had two directors, and I was just trying to make ends meet. So I was trying to do or get what I felt was a priority that needed to be completed, but I didn't feel like attendance was a priority, especially because we weren't meeting quorum. However, it's really important that we have attendance now, so that probably wasn't the best decision. But Brandon, being the amazing new VP that we have, is helping us audit and go through all of the SGA meetings and the logs that we have so we can calculate um, yeah, well, the full EC is looking into auditing, not just Brandon, I guess, but mainly Brandon. And he's helping us find out, which representatives were present at which meetings so we can manually go back and calculate attendance. So because of that, it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit requires a little bit more effort, and it's definitely going to take a little bit more time. But we are trying our best. And along with our other responsibilities, we're trying to get this done. And so hopefully we have some sort of answer for you or some sort of update next week. But if you are like, should we ask them if they're representing a student org consistently every week to like let us know? Because there were some people that we weren't sure about. Yeah, so there were some people that we were.
For anybody on this call, I kind of messaged.
Oh, oops.
For anybody on this call, I messaged separately to see if they have consistently been with the same org. So I don't think we need everybody to reach out.
All right, technical difficulties, but essentially I will just say what Brandon was saying. So we've had some student representatives that are that attend these SGA meetings, but sometimes there are representatives that represent two organizations, which you can't do, but they'll represent like one organization one week, another organization another week. So if you've been essentially consistent with representing the same org for every SGA meeting, if y'all could put that in the chat so we know that, okay, every SGA meeting, for example, Alina Thomas was at, she was representing CFM. So we know that and we can put that in, and that will help with our audit. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, ask in the chat, or send us an email. And Jusera, who put it in the chat, that's exactly how you would do it. All right. Next slide. Actually, I think we have Mark Denny on the call.
Yes.
Mr. Denny, we have been waiting for you.
Have you? How can I help?
Well, we have a few things for you to talk about. Updates on the Hawks and the UHCL
Oh,
letters.
Perfect. Yes. So the first item, and first off, I apologize to everyone for being late to the meeting. I had another meeting that ran late, so my apologies. Thank you for your patience. The Hawks letters, as you're all aware, we sent out 4 possible drawings. The students voted and they selected the letters that are essentially hollow, and it is just their outline that you see facing from directly on or from directly from the rear, and from the sideways they're solid and deeper. And we have one modification that I hope is not a challenge. We're not far enough down the road if it is a challenge, but I want to bring that up. And then the other one is a question of something we didn't get clear, and I need some feedback on, so we just get the final touches. So the first one is the modification. The design that was actually presented was that the letters were not electrified and would be lit up at night through floodlights on them. And President Blake, when she saw this, it was clear her preference is that the letters actually be electrified. And so what we're working on with the design company, because what they were intended to be was a thin layer of blue aluminum that did the face, if you will. So the UHCL and the HAWKS just had about a 1/2 inch wide blue strip of aluminum that you would see if you're looking at it directly face on, that gives this outline of each of the letters. We're working with them to actually make that a blue plexiglass with LED lighting behind it. And so it may increase the cost a bit. I'm not overly concerned about that, but that way they will be self-illuminating, these lights, as opposed to having ground mounted floodlights shining up on them. And it should give a much better visual effect and make the letters stand out more boldly from a greater distance. Okay. The second thing is on the same issue with lighting, is at present, I'm asking the designer to do that both the front and the back. And even though the letters will be reversed if you come up from them from behind, as most of you are aware, is that at least the positioning of the Hawks letter, there's a pathway that goes right behind those letters. And even though, yes, the letters are going to be reversed, I'm still asking them to design them so that they will be equally self-illuminated from both the front and the back. I have yet to see what they're going to do to that if you get slightly at angle to the lights so that you can see their colored interior and their depth to them at night. And so I'll have to see how that's actually comes together as the designer finishes these final pieces. If I think that presents a challenge, I'll come back to her and seek some guidance. So the first thing I'm asking is, is there general support for making these signs self-illuminated versus what was technically and not really clear in the drawings, is that they actually were just solid letters, no electricity on them, and then floodlights on the ground shining up on them. And then the second issue is that in the example shown, it was a multicolored bar from the side view, multicolors. And we have an option to do that and go with the multicolored side as was shown in the drawing, or to make them blue in their outline and green on the side, both on the outside and on the inside, so that they keep the UHCL color scheme. And so we probably should have asked for clarification when we did the vote, but we didn't. And the manufacturer has asked, well, which did you intend? The drawing of our letters was with the blue outline and the green side. The example of another vendor, of another company's product, was with the multicolored. So from that, I would infer that we intended for the blue and green and it be a solid color sign. But I guess I just want to put that out there that I am making a bit of an assumption that wasn't necessarily clear because the example we showed had a multicolored side. With that, I'll stop talking for a little bit and see if there's any questions, comments, or thoughts on that. Okay. Is it acceptable for me to take silence with general consensus of the direction that I'm going with, that they be self-illuminated and that we go with what was in the drawing, which is a blue outline and a green side, both on the exterior and the interior of the letters, because they have about 1.5 feet or about 1 foot depth to them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Perfect. The second topic that I wanted to talk about is the 2 optional fee increases. And I recognize that under our normal process, this would have gone to the, in the case of the 1 fee, the increase to the minimum meal plan for residents at Hunter Residence Hall, it would have gone to the the Dining Advisory Council, and it did. And they heard the presentation twice, and they came back with in support of it. However, they did ask, and this is something that I absolutely am supportive of, is that for students currently living at Hunter Residence Hall, that the current minimum of $1,000 versus the new proposed minimum of $1,400 be grandfathered in for those students who choose to return another year. And that's an easy thing to do, but they did support it. Then when we brought it here to SGA, normally what we would get is an official response from SGA. Do they support it or not support it? And then that would go forward through the university's shared governance process. And if the SGA voice was that they did not support it, at both the Planning and Budget Committee and at University Council, where the proposals will work their way through and ultimately be presented to President Blake, I would ask that Ms. Loya come to each of those meetings and specifically speak to both of those shared governance committees and articulate, rather than just the SGA gave it a thumbs down, but to speak to a little bit as to why the SGA gave it a thumbs down, so that our shared governance process really got the full voice of our students on those proposals. Okay.
If it involves
yes.
more money, if it involves taking more money from the students, it's always going to be a thumbs down.
Well, I would hope that you wouldn't always be quite so out of hand, because there are very good reasons for these fees. And while you may not agree with them, the mere fact that they cost more money, I hope is not just a blanket, we don't support it. I hope that SGA would give it a much more nuance. You may still not support it.
No, of course not. I would take
Okay.
it.
All right. But I am seeking some mechanism to get SGA's voice.
All right. So just so we have enough time to make sure that everybody gets all this information, first of all, regarding the update on the letters, can we maybe get an updated design look that maybe you could present at the next SGA meeting, so we could see how it looks like?
I can't guarantee that date because I don't have them yet, but as soon as I do have them, I will happily.
Sounds good. And then also, if you could send what you're talking about now in a document, so that way we can share it on Get Involved and make sure that students have this information.
Yep.
And also, when it comes to tuition and fee increases, SGA quorum is not necessarily required. So all students present at the decision meeting are eligible to vote.
Oh, well then with that, would you like me to schedule to come back and give a presentation on the two? Because I gave a presentation, but at that time it was informational only and no vote was taken.
Yeah.
And so I can certainly come back and present again. and ask for a vote from SGA, and then unless it's in favor of HIBA, I will still ask that you come and present that, so it's more informational than just here's the vote.
Of course.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, so that's why we normally the tuition and fee meetings, we set them in advance so that way we can inform as many students as possible to make sure that there are as many people are being represented as possible.
Oh.
Jasmine has a question that says, is the University of Houston involved in any way with encouraging the Texas legislature to increase funding for higher education during the current session?
Heavily.
Heavily.
The top 3 priorities that we put forward to the legislature were to increase formula funding, to restore the 5% that the state of Texas took from each public university because of the impact of COVID-19 on the Texas economy, and to increase funding to Texas grants, which does not give money to the university, but it gives scholarship opportunities for Texas residents. And so those were the top 3 priorities above anything else that we asked the Texas legislature to do.
Okay, so I think we have quite a few things to get done at today's meeting, but Mr. Denny, if you let me know what Tuesday at 11:30
Yep.
works for you, then I'll let the students know in advance and make sure our agenda is a little bit more clear so we can discuss your fee increases.
And I will give you documentation to share in advance of that meeting.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
So
Thank
much.
you. With that, I'll mute.
All right, so before we continue, I didn't support the increase at first, then talked about it with some residents, and then we talked you through. Okay, wait, Abram, could you stop at that slide? Just stay there for a sec. I would like to talk about something really quickly. I just received an email. For those of y'all who don't know, student government, we don't support domestic violence. We advocate against domestic violence consistently. Actually, if you stop by our office, you get a free purple ribbon sticker, purple for domestic violence awareness. But I thought I would let you know that there is an event happening on Friday, April 9th at 9:30 a.m. It's with Professor Joyce Taylor, who's amazing, incredible HSH professor, and she will be talking about domestic violence awareness when love hurts, and she will be sharing Jessica's story. It's going to be a workshop about domestic violence, and what happened is an ongoing true story of how one parent had to deal with it. Materials will be given to explain what domestic violence is and include resources in the local Houston and Clear Lake area that support families and individuals. Learn the facts and know how you can help those dealing with domestic violence situations. So you would need to register or enroll before Thursday evening at 5 p.m. And I will put the link in the chat if you are looking for more information. I think it's great if, we can go and support our amazing faculty, and Professor Taylor is like, I would just drop everything I'm doing just to listen to her talk. She's just incredible. So I encourage y'all to go. Okay, you can go forward, Abram. Just Sarah.
So hi, I'm Jay. But can you mute, please? Okay, let me go outside.
Wait, does that work? Is that what you got?
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. Go ahead. Okay. So I'm Jay. I am the director of external affairs and a committee co-chair for the dining advisory committee. And Abram, if you click to the dining advisory committee slide.
One moment, I have to get somewhere else because somehow it's not working for me.
Okay, so I wanted to give you a little bit of information about your representatives for the Dining Advisory Committee. We are working really hard to make changes here. And if you have a second, you can take a screenshot of this. But we just got a second co-chair in Shiva, and anyway, I just wanted to provide you the information of who you can reach out to if you have any questions. You can always reach out to the SGA email account as well. But please let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything that you want to see done here with our dining areas. Okay, I think that's it for the dining. So I wanted to take a minute today as an SGA senator to share a few slides that were actually created by UT El Paso Student Engagement and Leadership Center, which is about the Trans Day of Visibility. I do want to apologize up front for not making these slides accessible. I just learned today that I could alter somebody else's work in this way. Next slide. This slide talks a little bit about Trans Day of Visibility, which occurs annually on March 31st and aims to bring attention to the accomplishments of trans and non-binary people around the globe. Unlike Transgender Day of Remembrance, this is not a day for mourning. This is a day of empowerment and a day to recognize the courage it takes to live openly and authentically. Next slide. This is an example of art or a poster that was created as a part of the Trans Day of Resilience or the Trans Day of Resilience art project. It was made by Adelina Cruz in collaboration with the Coalition of Indigenous and Latina Trans Women and Femmes. Next slide. So to take a moment to talk about pronouns. So when we don't address transgender people by their correct pronouns, we are ignoring an important part of their identity. If you are not sure what someone's pronouns are, you can ask. We encourage everyone to talk about their own pronouns, even if they do not identify as transgender, as it helps to make conversations easier. It destigmatizes pronoun usage and is necessary when meeting someone new. After this presentation, I will put a link in the chat for more information about pronouns. Next slide. So what's important and how can I be a better ally? So aside from the importance of pronouns, a few ways that you can be a better ally to trans people is to learn about trans history, don't out your friends or trans friends, and of course, address transphobic or cis-sexist comments. If you don't know what cis-sexist means, please, grab your phone or whatever and go ahead and Google that. Next slide. Most importantly, be aware of the injustices that that transgender people still face. Next slide. So I really want to take a second here and say thank you for listening. At SGA, we value our transgender and non-binary classmates, and we want you to know that we are working to create a campus that you can do more than exist on. We are working to build a community here where you get to fully be you. Thank you for your time.
That was amazing, Jay. That was really beautiful. I hope y'all are all mentally clapping as well. All right, next up we have Alina Thomas with General Student Organization announcement. Miss
Yes.
Thomas.
Hello, everyone. So I've got quite a few announcements. So bear with me, basically. All right, so to quickly announce, we have our Heart of a Hawk Champions Cup. It's the first event that we are doing of this kind. It's basically an opportunity for your student org to celebrate, to show your school's spirit, and basically it's a competition that will be coinciding with the family weekend. So I will quickly go over what the family weekend schedule looks like. So that will be taking place from April 9th to April 11th. And we have a wonderful committee that organized this event. And so what's going to happen is each org can sign up 5 students from their organization, and basically they will attend the multiple events that we have. So the first one we have is on Friday, April 9th, where we will be celebrating Hunter's birthday. And you get points for attending these events. So we have that, then we have the Friday night movie event, and then we have the big event. Let me quickly remind everyone that you can sign up for the big event. It is open for everyone to sign up till April 2nd. You can sign up individually or as a group. So going back, so that's part of Family Weekend as well. So that does come into the competition. We do have the Campus Rec and Hunter Hall Backyard Rec Fest event as well. Blue and green bingo, and we do have the UHCL 5K run. So basically, as you participate in each event, you do receive points. And so this basically breaks down the points for each event. And we do have a panel of judges that are designated by the Traditions Committee, and they will be basically doing the whole breakdown and the competition, and they will announce the winners on Saturday. So you do need to be present in order to win the competition. So in order to sign up, the form is available on Get Involved right over here. I'll post a link in the chat after I finish my announcements. So if you want to read through the guidelines and everything, the link is available on the form itself. Yes, that is the family weekend. Next, we do have our, like Hiba mentioned earlier, we do have leadership opportunities in the form of our fee-funded groups. So we are having applications open up for all the executive positions for all of these 4 organizations. So we do have for the Campus Activities Board, as most of you know, CAB does focus on organizing events on campus and basically enhancing your experience as a student on campus. So you can click on this link right here. Again, all of these links are available on Get Involved. We do have HSCC who are in charge of Spirit Week and are in charge of creating the traditions that we have as being Hawks of UHCL. We do also have the mascot program and, as Hiba mentioned, SGA. The deadline for all of these applications is April 12th at 1 p.m. For SGA, we do have.
We're still seeing the Heart of a Hawk Champions Cup form.
Do you want me to go back to the form?
No, that's what we are seeing on our end. We're not seeing what you're talking about now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me know, Dylan. Let me.
No problem.
Yeah, let me share this again. All right. You see it now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I didn't know, everybody. But basically, this is the email that was sent out earlier this week about our different applications available for our fee-funded groups. So yes, we do have for CAB, HSDC, the mascot program, and SGA. So we do have it for the executive council, the senator positions, and shared governance positions. And the deadline is April 12th at 1 p.m. All right, and our last thing that I want to quickly go over is our leadership experience development series. We do have 3 more left, but the deadline for the Myers-Briggs type indicator workshop did pass, which was March 29th. So we have the next one, which is on 8th of April by Asia Rodriguez, and she will be talking about being a leader and with consistent and clear expectations. And she has years of experience with supervision, so she has a lot of tips and tricks to share with new leaders, and basically talking about communication and advocating for those we serve. And we do have another one called Zoom Fatigue is Real workshop hosted by the Counseling Services on 20th of April. And yes, that pretty much sums up all of my announcements. Thank you very much.
All right. Abram, back to our presentation, please. Miss Alvarado, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, you look beautiful
Hi.
today.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Well, thank you so much for letting me join your meeting quickly. I'll go over another event that we're another event opportunity. So, hi, my name is Andrea Alvarado. I am the grant director for Pathways to STEM Careers, and we're partnering with the Engaged Learning to Promote STEM Graduation program to put on the STEM Challenge. So, it is next week, Friday and Saturday. But if you don't know what the STEM Challenge is, it's a team-based competition. It's open to anyone who's in high school, community college, university students. So it's not just UHCL. This year we are doing a 2-day event. So Friday evening, we're going to be playing Jeopardy. So come ready with your STEM trivia and STEM knowledge, and you'll be competing to earn points for your team. And then Saturday, you have the option to compete in one of 2 tracks, either the programming challenge. So if you know how to code, you'll want to join that track. Or if you don't know how to code, we do have the physical sciences challenge track. And so it's going to be fun, lots of challenges, opportunities to win prizes. So first place team on both the programming challenge and the physical challenge, each get a $500 scholarship to UHCL along with a prize. Second place gets a prize. And then we're also offering a $1,000 scholarship to the outstanding high school student as well as outstanding community college student. So we're also raffling off lots of prizes. So if you don't win first or second place, there's still a chance for you to win, to walk away with something. It is free to participate. All participants get a free t-shirt, and we are providing all the materials you need to compete. So if you're participating in the coding challenge, we'll provide you with the supplies that you'll need for that, as well as the science. There's a kit for that. The only thing that we won't be providing is you need to make sure you have your own access to Zoom, laptop, internet, webcam, all that stuff, because it is hosted over Zoom. And then the last thing I wanted to just kind of quickly mention is if you don't have a team, no problem, we will match you. So I will drop the registration website and Professor Abby Sekara's email if you have any questions about it. Like I said, it is next Friday and Saturday, but don't worry, you can still attend all of the Heart of a Hawk events. So if you're worried about getting points for that too, you can definitely compete in all of it. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. All right, next slide, please, Abram. Miss Chandler from Career Services, are you on the call?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So today I just have a few announcements for you all. So this week is Career Week. Today we are doing like rapid resume reviews. So if you would like to have your resume reviewed quickly, you can register on Jobs for Hawks, and then a career advisor will email you to get that done for you. Tomorrow we are also doing practice interviews with employers. We do have 4 slots still open, and the practice interviews will be from 1 to 3. So if you're interested in doing that, you can email our office at careerservices@UHCL, or you can give our office a call and we'll get that appointment set up for you. We're doing our LinkedIn workshop on Thursday from 10 to 11:30, and that will be virtual as well. Again, registration is on Jobs for Hawks, and all of these events are also on Get Involved if you needed more information or details. And then Friday, we are doing headshots in our office from 10 to 3. So if you wanted to get your picture taken for LinkedIn or any other professional needs, you can give our office a call or email and set up an appointment to have your photo taken. Other announcements, the Texas Job Fair is next week on April 6th. So if you're interested in that, you can go to the HACC website. So it's HACCC.org, or you can email our office and we'll get you information about that. And then April 7th is the teacher career fair. That's all I got.
Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Chandler. We really appreciate you. Let's see. Could you go to the next slide, please, Abram? Open forum. Does anybody have any questions about what we have discussed today? Going once, going twice. All right, let's move forward. So the quote of the day is, closing remarks. The next SGA meeting will take place on April 6th, I believe. Please be present no later than 11:20 a.m. to be led into the SGA meeting. To schedule agenda time or to speak at our SGA meeting, please fill out completed request to speak form on our website, www.uhcl.edu/SGA, in my opinion. All right. So the quote of the day is, I would never be so arrogant to think that someone should model their life after me. But the idea of possibility, the idea that I get to live my dreams out in public, hopefully will show to other folks that it's possible. So I prefer the term possibility model to role model. I messed up. Laverne Cox, everybody. The time is 12:18 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for coming.